don't see any videos on it. Hold on. Oh, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. All right, here we go. I don't know why it wasn't showing up. It was there though. Told y'all I saved it. Y'all believe me. All right. Hold on. Let me get rid of these real quick. 1 second. I just want to share this video for y'all. This one's gonna get y'all. So remember in the debate where Trump was getting called out, or Trump was talking about this Abdul person in the Taliban. Remember when Kamala called him out and saying that, yeah, Trump wants to negotiate with the leaders of the Taliban. And Trump was telling the story about what he did with this guy named Abdul. Listen to this video. I promise you, this may be the most shocking video that we've seen thus far today. I don't know, for different reasons, though. Hopefully you're not let down. You all tell me what you think.
The man who now leads the Taliban in Afghanistan, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar.
Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, co-founder of the Taliban.
I could hear in Mullah Baradar's voice that he knew President Trump meant business.
CBS News has confirmed that CIA Director William Burns met secretly in Kabul with the Taliban's de facto leader Abdul Ghani Baradar.
We have learned that CIA Director William Burns traveled to Kabul for a secret meeting with Taliban leader Abdul Ghani Baradar.
A Taliban co-founder, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, who oversaw the signing of the U.S. withdrawal agreement last year.
So everybody heard Abdul, right? Everybody heard Abdul. These are videos from 2021 that you're clearly seeing on the screen. Let's fast forward to Joy Reid and others giving their debate analysis where they're referring to Trump and saying that he's lying. Now, once again, I just ask that you all put yourselves in the mind of the people that watch MSNBC. They don't typically watch other objective news stations, and not just objective or down the middle. To get a video like this that I'm showing you right now, I don't even know if Fox is going to show this. You know what I mean? I don't even know if this is going to be on mainstream TV. This is on Twitter. So people that are watching MSNBC that don't even have X accounts or that don't go on TikTok and see these type of videos, just put yourself in the minds of these people, because there's no way, unless they just really, really research this stuff, that they would have any idea about the contradiction or the blatant lie that we're about to experience.
Last year.
This is the part where Donald Trump invented someone. He invented a person who doesn't exist in addition to the people he says are eating dogs. There's another person who doesn't exist. His name is Abdul.
And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems.
Maybe the reason that VP Harris is looking at him that way is one that she's probably thinking maybe he should go back to the old folks home and have a bowl of Jell-O. Or she might also thinking to herself, no. The head of the Taliban's name is not Abdul. It is Hibatullah Akhundzada. So maybe he couldn't remember that. You know, I had to write it down to know it. Your thoughts on his response in making up Abdul as
the president of the United States. These Democrats used to get mad at people for saying stuff about Biden and his clear cognitive decline. The fact that just think about this. She's saying that, making a joke about Trump going to the old folks home, eating Jell-O. Our current president, if he wasn't the president, that's exactly what he probably would be doing. Think about it. If our current president didn't have the support of being the president, everything that comes along with that, the perks, he'd be on his way to that if he's not already there. Side note, she just said that Trump made up this name, Abdul. You guys just watched a minute of people referring to the leader of the Taliban as Abdul. And now they're trying to position this 3 years later as if Trump just made up a name. Can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that? I have to go back again.
Don't do it anymore.
that VP Harris is looking at him that way is one that she's probably thinking maybe he should go back to the old folks home and have a bowl of Jell-O. Or she might also thinking to herself, no. The head of the Taliban's name is not Abdul. It is Hibatullah Akhundzada. So maybe he couldn't remember that. You know, I had to write it down to know it. Your thoughts on his response in making up Abdul as a person that isn't real?
No one can really confirm who this Taliban person named Abdul is, who he said he'd talked to.
It's the bizarrest bit in the whole debate, where he describes the leader of the Taliban as a guy called Abdul. I mean, it's you know, it's a completely non-existent person. He's just chosen the one Muslim name he can remember. It's like, I don't know, the leader of the Taliban saying, that guy John who leads the West, or is it Billy? That's the kind of sort of wacky direction she sent his head in, because she had prepared so well.
The man who now leads the Taliban in Afghanistan, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar.
Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, co-founder of the Taliban.
I could hear in Mullah Baradar's voice that he knew President Trump meant business.
CBS News has confirmed that CIA Director William Burns met secretly in Kabul with the Taliban's de facto leader, Abdul
Ghani. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Clifford, where you at, Clifford? Where you at, Clifford? You're gonna come address this, Clifford? They are just blatantly lying to us. They are blatantly lying to us. How do they do this? Knowing that we have technology to just go back and look at it. You want to know why? Because the people that Joy Reid is talking to, let's be real, who's watching MSNBC? They do not have access to the social media platforms. They're not going on those platforms and seeing these type of videos. And even then, Joy Reid doesn't care, because she's like, well, you know, if I say this to a bunch of people, and if most of the people aren't even ever going to see me, this type of video that I'm showing y'all right now, to fact check what I'm saying. So therefore, I'll just say it. And even the people that do see it, it's not like they're going to vote for Trump anyway. So they'll have to vote for us anyway. Do y'all understand how dangerous this is? They are just lying. And then these are the people that are going to fact check that we go on and watch their show to tell us who lied in the debate. When they say Trump lied 30-something times and Kamala may have lied once. Like, if this does not, like, but you know what? Just like Baltimore, you want to know why it happens? Because the people allow it to happen. Nobody's going to call this out. People are going to continue watching MSNBC, supporting these people. Nobody's going to call it out. That matters as far as the people that they are looking to attract, their target market. Their target market is not going to call them out for just blatantly lying to them, because they're okay with it. Why? Because when it happens to them, they'll just justify it and say, well, you know, they all lie. They all lie, as if that's an excuse. And that is exactly why we are in the position that we're in today, where people just continue to vote for the lesser of two evils. And now look what we're choosing between. This evil, if you talk to this party's the evil one. If you talk to this party, this one's the evil one. Now both parties are saying that because because our leaders in our households, in our communities, have continued to promote lesser of two evil candidates and have continued to encourage us by saying silly stuff like your ancestors died for the right for us to vote, they convince us to continue voting for the lesser of two evils. And now we've gotten to the point where both parties are saying, if you vote for this person, you're going to be in chains and shackles. If you vote for this person, then we're going to need a civil war. How did we get here? We can't even figure out what's going on in our own country, yet we're trying to help everybody else throughout the world. We're trying to get involved in wars. We have a war going on in our country. We have all these illegal migrants that have come in because they've been incentivized by the Democrats. Let's just be real. I'm not blaming them, honestly. I'm blaming the Democrats for incentivizing them and okaying them, giving them the green light on something that was a crime, but they gave them the green light, gave them a hall pass, gave them a get out of jail free card, whatever it is. They decided to give it to them. So I'm not upset with them to the point where I'm upset with the people that allowed it. So now you got this migrant crisis. that they're already going into areas, impoverished communities that already have a lot of issues that we see what was going on in Queens and the Bronx. I heard this crazy stat about Queens, and I got to double check it, but they were saying like 60% or 50 something percent of the crime that's committed in Queens is by way of illegals. Or I got to double check it, and perhaps I shouldn't have said that without confirming it. I did hear it, but I do like to validate the information before, but I'm asking y'all to help me out as well with that one. So that's something that we need to look up. The crime rates in a lot of these cities that we know are not being reported. That actually came out. That was an article. We'll talk about that on Monday because that was something big from the debate where a lot of this crime that's been reported, a lot of it's not being reported because it's actually voluntary now. So when Kamala gets on stage and says violent crime is down, well, that's because of two reasons. One, it's not mandatory to actually report your crime stats. Think about that. So New York City, I don't think has reported their crime stats to whatever department Kamala is basing that the violent crime, the FBI, hasn't reported it. I believe it was a few other big cities where only 60% of the precincts actually reported data. So they're just guessing on the rest. And not only when they say that violent crime is down, they're not taking into account where, just like in California, where, and we've seen it in a lot of these other major cities where people are running in buildings, running in stores because they lowered the punishment. They lowered a lot of these punishments that were considered violent crime. Now they lowered them, so they're no longer in that category. So the perception of it is violent crime is going down when it's just not true. But who's going to know this? Who's going to be a geek and look up all this stuff? Not many of us. Not many of us. So the last thing that I'll, when we go back to the question of why are they doing this to Donald Trump, I came across this video and I thought it was interesting with our dog Mark Wahlberg. Hold on, where was this video? And if I don't have it,